Okay, so don't do anything illegal. Just kidding. Um, Good. I almost said good morning, but it's not morning. Happy Monday evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know that there's so many other things that you could be doing right now. So we're so grateful that you decided to spend a little bit of time with us tonight. This is your inside scoop to the coach life. Um, I always I forget that a lot of people don't know what I do as a coach. And for me, it's something I've been doing for just over 7 years. And so it's like, riding a bike or doing things at my day job and going like, "Oh, doesn't everybody know what I do?" And so no, they don't. A lot of people think we just work out. A lot of people think we just play on our phones all day long. So tonight we really want to share what we do and why we do it. That's kind of the secret sauce, is why we do it. So I hope you will, take this time, just really sit back and listen, take in the information that we're giving you, think about how it could apply to your life. And then if you have any questions at the end, please feel free to ask. We are pretty much open books, Laura and myself, and we want you to feel comfortable making the decision that's going to be best for you. So that being said, tonight you're being hosted by Team Fit to Love, which is a team that I created way back in 2014. And it has blossomed and grown to the amazing, amazing community of women that it is today, and some husbands sprinkled in there, or boyfriends or fiancés and things like that. And I am just, it was my baby, this idea of what this community would look like, and it is coming to fruition, and it is more than I could have ever imagined. So if you decide to coach, you would get to be a part of that amazingness. So what can you expect as we go through our presentation tonight? Laura and I are going to share a little bit about ourselves, our story, why we got into coaching, what it's done for us. We're also going to talk about some of the most common hesitations that people have for getting into coaching, and kind of debunk the myths about coaching, or what you might think you have to have done or be to be a Team Beachbody coach. We're also going to share with you how you make it work for you. Um, every single person on this call has a different job, a different background, a different story, yet every single person on this call can be a successful coach. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to attract like-minded people, people that want more, people that, want to see you win, want to see others win. We're also going to talk about the coach perks, because yeah, it's a business. We earn an income, but there's also a lot of other perks besides just getting healthy and being happier. And there's just so much perks to being a coach. Um, and then just leaving a time for questions. We don't really go over how we earn, like the whole compensation plan, but we do talk a little bit about how you earn an income by helping people. So oh my god, I can't even read right now. You guys read this? It's important that we share our experience with other people. When you tell your story, you free yourself and give other people permission to acknowledge their own story. This is something that I feel so strongly about. Um, and we're going to talk about it in a second, about sharing versus selling. But I know that when I tell my story, which is very personal to me, and I used to feel very alone with my story, and I'll share a little bit more when we get to the next slide when I tell my story. But I know if I can help one person feel less alone or feel inspired by sharing the hard parts, or the things that have happened in my life, that I am doing good. Like, I am happy if I can help just one single person acknowledge their own story, that they are not their past, they are not their history, they can do something more with their life. So oops, what's going on here? So I say so a lot. My name is Kelly Posner, and I am a coach on Team Fit to Love. I am a recent 5-star diamond coach, which probably means not a whole lot to a brand new person that doesn't know a whole lot about coaching. But what I will tell you, and I say this because it's a team effort. I don't like to brag or feel like I'm bragging or something like, but 5-star diamond team, which is, it's a team. I would not be in this position without my teammates. Um, is about a 1 in 800, or not 1 in 800. I am one of 832 coaches out of 450,000 over the course of how many times we've been or how many years we've had coaches. That is what that rank means. And I got there because of my team, because of the people that wanted something more for their lives and decided to pay it forward, to get healthier themselves and then share that with other people and help as many people as possible. We are right now ranked the 107th team in the company out of 450,000. That's incredible. Like, I still can't believe that. Like, it's, and again, I'm just one person. That is an entire team of people that are helping others change their lives, physically, financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all the other things. I'm also a wife and I'm a mom of a crazy 9-year-old daughter. I am currently a full-time middle school counselor, and a coach, which I could basically say full-time coach. I don't work 40 hours a week, but it's like I feel like I'm working 2 full-time jobs. So a little bit besides, the rankings and the things like that. 7.5 years ago, actually, it was about 9 years ago. My daughter will be 10 in November. I ended up separating from my husband with a 7-month-old baby. And I was completely broken and broke. I was a full-time high school counselor at the time. So the one thing I had was my job. Okay. So I had a good job that I could, pay bills and things like that. I had to get an apartment. I had to start over from scratch, like completely from scratch at what am I, 30, 32 years old, 33 years old. Um, had to run a 2-bedroom apartment. Every single thing I owned in that apartment was secondhand that I got off Craigslist, because Facebook Marketplace, I don't even think existed then. Um, I mean, everything except for the stuff in my daughter's room that I bought and put together and everything for her whole nursery when she was born, I got all that. So that was the only thing that was brand new from the store, was all of the things in my daughter's nursery. Everything else in my home was secondhand, because that's the only thing I could afford at that time. I actually had to quit my gym membership because I couldn't afford the gym membership plus the daycare needed for the gym membership. When you have a baby and you're a single mom, you can't really leave your baby at home, and go to the gym. And I remember I get her to the gym, I'd get her in there, I'd go set up for my fitness class. And by the time we literally get through the warm up, the people would come from the, oh, she pooped, or oh, she's screaming her head off, she won't stop, and I have to leave. Like, it was just stupid. So I was wasting money, and I was like, I have a gym at my apartment complex. I'll just use that. I think I used it twice in I think I was there like 2 years. I think I used it twice, once a year, not good. And an opportunity was presented. I started dating a guy who's my husband now. And he had one of his best friends and his wife at the time were Team Beachbody coaches. And I didn't really know what that was. They both were full-time coaches. One had been an attorney. That's how my husband knew him. They went to law school together. And his wife was an elementary school teacher. And they were now both resigned from those jobs, those careers, and were full-time coaches. And so I was like, oh, I can work out at home in my tiny apartment, like in my living room. So I was like, oh, well, and I was like, talked about costs, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. My boyfriend, he had done some of the programs, and I knew about Insanity and P90X. Those were the other ones that I bootlegged, on the DVDs, years prior, before I became a coach, because I didn't want to pay, the cost of them. And so I was like, oh, I can do that. And I signed up in January of 2014. I started my first challenge group. It was a 3-month challenge group, P90X3. And I think so. It was January. It was the New Year program. And in February 28th of that year, so about 6 weeks later, I decided to sign up to coach. I had gone away on a vacation with the same couple for a ski weekend, and I listened to Monica, who is my upline, who is my mentor and the person that brought me into this business. I listened to her talk on the phone to her coaches, and she was talking to corporate, and she was talking, and I'm just like overhearing her talk about all these possibilities and all these things, and the income that people were earning and the lives that they were changing. And because she had straight line to corporate, so she was always, talking to them about how to make things better. And I was still living paycheck to paycheck. I had one good job, but there was no money left over at the end of the month. Zero, zilch. I couldn't invite friends for coffee dates or happy hours. I couldn't buy my daughter cute little outfits. There was nothing left over. And so I was hearing her talk about how she was earning an income. I mean, she was a full-time coach, but how other people were earning an income from working out and working at home. And as a single mom, but splitting custody with her ex-husband, I had extra time on my hands. I could also work when my daughter was napping or when she went to bed, because then she went to bed at 7 p.m. It was glorious. And I could use that time to do something really good, not only for myself, but for other people. And so I started working this business 7 years ago when I needed more income, more monthly income to help, so I wouldn't be strapped at the end of every month. I would have some savings. I could go on a trip, or I could go out to happy hour. I wasn't somebody who had a huge transformation story, a physical transformation story. My transformation came between these two, not up here, my ears. My transformation came between my two ears. The mental and the personal development transformation that came for me is absolutely life-changing. Like I said, I was into health and fitness, but for all the wrong reasons. I had always worked out. I probably worked out 5 or 6 days at the gym, an hour and a half every day. I had no idea how to eat. I had no idea, what it meant to be actually truly healthy. All I wanted to do was lose weight and be skinny, or skinnier than I was, right? And so through this journey, not only have I built an income that is going to allow me to resign from my full-time job, but I've gained the most incredible support system, because contrary to popular belief, not all women want to tear each other down and compete with each other. There are more women out there that want you to succeed and want you to do well than there are the other way around. And I want to help those people, those women that feel so jealous or insecure like I was. I want them to be where I am now. Those are the people that I'm trying to find and bring to what we're doing, so they can have the same type of growth. And I learned what it's like. I learned what it truly means to be healthy, and I work on it every single day. Every single day. And I cannot imagine where my life, my mental health, my relationship with my daughter, even my husband. I don't wish divorce or split custody or blended families on anybody, but it is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And because of the personal development and the growth and really working on me first as a whole person has helped me navigate every aspect of my life. And I went probably way too long, so I'm gonna let Laura go. But I always do.
Oh my gosh, you're easy to listen to, so I don't mind. I've heard her story so many times, and I still get inspired every time I do. So, hi, I am Laura Schrader. Oh my gosh, and my ring light just attacked me. That's not surprising though. Listen to my voice. Like I'm a wild girl. Like I just am who I am. So I am a 1-star diamond coach on the number 107 team. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching I'm 43. So I've been teaching 21 years. I've been married 12 years. I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old. And I started coaching in 2015. So I've been coaching for nearly 6 years now. And, I love my story. I've grown to love my story so much. Because I just feel like my story is something that I've talked to so many women about, and somewhere in it, a lot of times people can see themselves, right? So my story is that I grew up with a mom who was a great mom. She's great, but she was like a mom who had beliefs that she didn't look good, right? And so she was always chasing the I'm not skinny train, right? So I grew up in a house like that, and my mom didn't feel like she looked good. And so comments she made about herself, not so much about me, but just like they were what stuck with me. And she wanted to lose weight when I was like in middle school, and she joined a group called Tops, where you go and like you get weighed every week and stuff like that. And it was at the church, and I joined her. And like I was 12, and that year, and I was like with all these church ladies, like week in, week out for like a year, and I lost the most weight. And this is a true story. I actually had an award that said I was the biggest loser when I was 12. I was like, all these adult women thought this was somehow appropriate, right? And they're like great people, but really, I grew up with a fair amount of dysfunctional thinking about my body as a result of all that. And I joined Weight Watchers at one point, was very successful. And then I eventually gained the weight back. And then I kept rejoining Weight Watchers, trying to like recapture that glory. And I never really captured it again. And so that's the part of my story where I feel like so many people have had that, right? And so what happened is my friend Julie was started doing Beachbody, and because she was going through a rough period when she happened to do this, we literally talked on the phone every single day. And I was doing Weight Watchers, and I was gaining and losing the same 5 pounds. And she started doing Beachbody, and she lost 40 pounds in 6 months. And I just was like, I want what you're doing. Like, I'll do whatever it is you're doing. And so that's where my journey started. My journey started with some really dysfunctional, there you go. I never knew that Sandy and I were both the Top's biggest losers. This is a great connection. So anyways, I lost my train of thought there, but I like started this journey with a whole bunch of dysfunctional thinking that I didn't know was dysfunctional. And that's the truth and the reality of it. And so this journey has taken me on this really, really cool opportunity to grow into this person, this amazing person that I always have been, but did not realize, right? Like I didn't, and it had nothing to do, it started with weight loss. It started with, honestly, my neighbor just wanted some Shakeology, and I was getting the discount. And like, I just didn't want Julie to get the money for it. I wanted the money because I was cheap. Like that's how it started with the coaching. But I grew into this person who realized that I have a passion for lifting others up. I have a passion for loving people when they can't love themselves. I have a passion for seeing what's possible for someone's future that they don't see. I have a passion for inspiring women. I have a passion for showing up for my team. I have all this inside of me that I just didn't know. And so over this journey, I've really grown into this person that I'm completely in love with. I've learned how to manifest my future. I've learned how, like I started a women's organization called the Mom Scouts of America. Laura, before becoming a coach, wouldn't have thought to do that because I wouldn't have realized I was capable. This journey has taught me what I'm capable of. I'm a middle school math teacher. I've always been optimist. I now can take those skills, the teaching and the optimism, and I can transfer them to something that's making a powerful impact in not only my life, but the life of so many people around me. And that I try not to ever take for granted because it was this thing I didn't know was missing from my life. And I don't know how I got so lucky to stumble upon it, to be honest. And so my regret, everyone, you always have some sort of regret in this life, but my regret is that when I started this coaching thing, I really was trying to help people lose weight. And you can hear in my story why that would be. That's where I was coming from. I did not realize how much fun I would have helping build a team of other people who can also transform lives. I didn't realize that I would be able to impact more lives by growing a team of people to help me in the mission to go freaking lift women up. And that's just been such a joy for my life. So Kelly's clapping. Thanks, Kel. She's also heard my story a time or two.
No, that was so good.
Look at Michelle. Michelle always says it's good.
Look,
Even
I
if
think you a standing ovation. It was just so.
Oh my gosh. All right, so I bet you I hit a few things on this next slide. Oh, never mind. Let me first hit this. So just so you know, there are so many different jobs that people have when they come to our team, like so many. And sometimes when Kelly and I present together, I don't like it because we're both school system people. And so it would be easy for you to assume that you have to be a school person to do this. That is a lie. The husband that she talked about earlier, not hers, but the one who's a Beachbody coach, he was a lawyer when he started this, which blows my mind. Like as a school teacher, I guess that blows my mind because I just like to think about lawyers having like beds of money they roll in and like, I don't know, it rains maybe from the ceiling or so. I don't know. Like it was surprising to me, but we have people in all different areas. You can see it on the screen. There's no like one profession that is like the best to come from, or there's no like skill set. Just so you know, the one thing I can tell you is there's almost no one who normally comes with health and fitness. Now, on occasion there is, like I've got a coach right now who has a personal training background, but most people have no friggin' clue about health or fitness or anything, but they do have something in them that's drawing them to this community. And that's really the commonality. So there's a lot of reasons that people tend to question if this is for them or feel a little hesitant. One of the biggest ones that people really wonder is, what are people going to think of me? Like, what are they going to think? Like, and some of that comes because, quite frankly, there's a lot of people who have businesses online maybe, and the way they have chosen to do that sometimes isn't maybe what you would choose. And so sometimes when you don't have that framework, you're thinking about it and you're like, well, I don't want to be like that because I don't want people to think this, and I don't want to come off this way. And the thing is what we do and you can go look at my social, Kelly's social, whoever brought you here. We live our lives authentically in a way to help people see what's possible. And I don't have people who don't like that about me, to be honest. The people in my life actually tell me all the time, I love what you're sharing, because what we have the ability to do is to share life authentically. And a lot of times social media, which is where we mainly share, a lot of times social media, people struggle to do that. And so we get to be a gift in other people's lives by sharing our journey with authenticity. Sometimes people feel like there's going to be a big financial burden. Sometimes that's because of where you're coming from. I know I definitely did. When I started this journey, Josh and I think would spend, I think our grocery budget was $400 a month. And I had $100 spending money, or maybe we did together. Like it was a very tight budget. And so when I started this journey, the cost to me felt incredible. Okay, just incredible. Now, when I started this journey, you also just got one DVD program. So now you get every program we have, you get a lot more value now. But and so sometimes people come at it and they're worried about that. But what I actually learned is that I learned that by starting this journey, first of all, my personal cost, because I used Shakeology and I got results by following the program. So of course I wanted to keep on the supplements. And what I learned is like the cost wasn't really that crazy because I was replacing other costs in my budget. I was replacing other food, right? And when it really came down to it, I was investing into my health. It was totally worth it. Furthermore, I already told you about my neighbor. My neighbor decided she wanted some shakes. So I sold some shakes and that cut my costs too. And so the financial burden, when you really start breaking it down, honestly, Shakeology at full price is about $30 a week. It's really not that crazy when you think about the nutritional value that you're getting. But you can also, there are ways to cut it even more by helping other people. With this, the next one's one of my favorite ones. Because it seems everyone thinks this. Everyone thinks that, I shouldn't say everyone, it's so extreme, but it seems like everyone thinks that they have to be at a goal weight for you to inspire people to be on the journey. And that is just completely a lie. Like, in fact, I would be willing to argue more people want to join people who are on the journey with them than people who are at the goal weight. They are unrelatable. I'm sorry. The women who, by the way, I will not tear down a woman's body. So please, if it sounds like this, I'm not trying to. I'm just saying the women with rock hard abs and like who really got it going on from the hard work they put in, for most people, that does feel unrelatable, right? What people want is they want someone who's going to help them stay accountable, who's going to show up every day, who's going to be a cheerleader. That's what people want. They want someone on the journey with them. And quite frankly, when I started, and I've told this story many times, but it took me I shouldn't say this out loud, but I will. It took me a year and a half to like fitness. This is not a lie. I worked out 6 and 7 days a week and I hated it most of the time. And it was really freaking awful. And I did it because I had a coach who was helping me, but I also did it because I had people I was coaching. And that was my secret sauce to staying on this program, if you wanted the truth, was having people who looked up to me to lead them. I have to know more than them. I just had to show up. And that's the hardest part of the journey. And so this idea of you have to be at a goal weight is just completely like, throw it out the friggin' window. Social media, most people when they start coaching don't necessarily know social media very well. Like most people like their kids, right? Like I post pictures of my kids, my dogs, like, and I look for pictures of kids and dogs, right? Like, and that's fine. We actually have a training that teaches you about social media, how it works, how we show up. We don't believe in selling. Kelly will go into that later, but we don't believe in like hard selling or anything like that. We show you how to be yourself on social media like you are now, but maybe with a different, twist to it. So you can kind of inspire people along the way. I don't want to let my coach down. Guess what? Your coach is your coach because they love you and they want the best for you. You can't let them down by what you do or don't do. When you sign on as an independent team Beachbody coach, it's your own business. It's like your business. Like you can't let your coach down. Like it's yours. Your coach is there to help you become what you want to be. The salesperson one, like I said, I think Kelly's going to get into that more. The free time. Let me tell you, girls, I didn't have free time when I started this business. Full-time teacher. I think I had a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, something like that. Ridiculous. I had a husband who started a business. By the way, talk about financial burden. His business has been a financial burden. This one I haven't paid a dime for. I didn't have any free time because he was working 6 days a week. He was working, 80-hour weeks, whatever. What I found is that I made this work in pockets of time that I found. And I'll be quite honest with you, I loved it so much. I loved helping people. It didn't feel like work. I don't know how else to say that. I couldn't wait. I thought it was fun. I would watch videos and think it was great. So it just wasn't that much work. And the final one is I don't think I have what it takes. And if you feel that way, you're honestly exactly where we all started. Every coach I know didn't think they had what it takes. And the way that we get to the point where we realize is that first you let others believe in you. And that's why you're here. A coach has believed in you enough to invite you to this. And so someone's believing in you, someone sees that ability, right? And over time, you develop it in yourself because you start to work on your mindset, just like Kelly said, the things between your ears, that's what we focus on, that's what we help with. And it's simply, I promise you, you have what it takes. It's a case of channeling it from within you. And until you have that belief in yourself, you allow those around you to speak that and breathe life into you. And it's just beautiful.
I didn't know she was ever going to stop. Okay. Oh, wait, this is still
Welcome
you.
to how I feel when you have that slide.
This is still you, though. This is still you. I forgot.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, on this one, this is a fast one.
Yeah.
Basically, you need to know that you're part of a team. I think you already heard that from Kelly. She spoke about the team idea over and over. We literally run everything as a team. We have a team page where everything is. We have team calls. We have a monthly group that we run as the team. You don't have to run it on your own. And our team energy is freaking fire. This team lifts each other up, builds each other up, and supports each other like no team I know of in the Beachbody community. And I love the community, but when I talk to other teams about what they're doing, I just walk away and think, they ain't on our team.
So I think in just what I wanted to add to that is that you were never alone. We do everything as a team. We mentor you, and we all mentor you, whether you sign with somebody, with me or with Laura, or we all work together. There's no hierarchy, regardless of whatever rank you have or when you sign up as a coach. We are all here to help everybody. But that being said, when I started and I had my mentors and they ran their business a certain way, and then they actually ended up getting a divorce. And so I kind of went out and I started my own team, and I started doing things the way that I wanted to do them. But I got all this mentoring and this and teaching from these two that started before me, and I learned from them and I listened, and then I went and did it myself. So it's not that we don't ever, not, I don't want to say walk away from the team, but you build your own pieces of the pie and a piece of the puzzle, and there's teams within teams, and so not that we don't all do the things the same. So then sometimes people go, oh, well, they have a really great idea. I'm going to go and I'm going to tweak it over here. I'm going to do it this way for me. And that's the autonomy of being an independent team Beachbody coach. But then you also have the support of that bigger team when you need it. So, which I think is really cool. So you don't want to sell. One of my very first jobs, actually all my jobs were sales jobs, essentially, when I was in high school. But I remember I worked at Baskin Robbins, so that wasn't really like the same kind of sales. People weren't giving you their money, you didn't have to sell anything because they just wanted ice cream. But I remember when I was working at the Gap when I was in college, when I come home for breaks and stuff, and oh my God, I hated selling clothes. It's probably because I was in my 20s and I was just selfish and rude and whatever. I was like, I don't want to tell people they look good in clothes. I was like, this is so dumb. Just buy your stuff and go. I hated it, right? Because I was like, you're supposed to walk around and tell people that they looked amazing or help them pick out something. And I was like, can't they just, I hate it when people do that to me. So I was like, can't they just shop for their own selves? That's selling, right? What I truly believe that we do, and yes, we have products that we sell, we exchange, or people give money to Team Beachbody in exchange for items, like whether it's a program or products. So there are things that we're selling, but I do never go on social media. I never go to, when I'm talking with friends or family or whomever, and say, I have this, I'm going to sell you. No, I talk about the experience that I'm having with a program or a product, or if they ask me questions, wow, you look like you are happier, you look like your skin is glowing, what are you doing? Like you share, just as you would share a new restaurant, a new boutique that you found, a new product or something that you know that you're using that has nothing, product outside, maybe it's makeup or lipstick or whatever. You share those things. And sadly, when you share those companies' items, you don't get no kickbacks. You don't get, it's like, yay, thanks. Your bestie now has a brand new boutique that she spends all her money at, but you don't get any kickbacks, you don't get any commissions, you don't get, and you're the one that shared with her all the amazingness. And when we share, and that's it, like, and I think it's on the next slide, but talking about how we share. So sadly, in the last year, there was not a lot of in-person events happening or conversation. I mean, it was this like Zoom and so I don't consider that in person. It was probably the most in person we got, in the last year. But people trust you if they're a friend. It's like your war market when you are sharing what you're doing in a personal setting or in-person setting. Those are people that you know and that trust you and want to hear from you, want to know what you're doing, and they are going to be some of your first people that trust you with their journey, right? Because they trust you. They're gonna say, "Oh, maybe I'm not ready to do this by myself, but she's been doing it for a while, or even if she just started, but I see her doing it. I see the people that she's working with. I want to do it too." Okay. The people that are rolling their eyes, the people that are thinking or judging you for what you're doing, are just jealous or envious that you have the courage to go out and publicly share what is changing your life. They wish they had that courage to do that. They wish they had the courage to do the things to change their life. But because they don't yet, they want to put you down, whether it's verbally or just in their own mind. They want to put you down because that makes them feel less that, or makes them feel less than they already did, right? That they haven't found that courage. And the cool part is those people that are rolling their eyes, or those naysayers, because you consistently show up and show what you're doing without selling, they're probably going to join you at some point, because they're going to see that it's not a fluke. It's not just something you're not trying to sell them. This is a lifestyle. This is something where, like, I love what Laura said about, she just really wanted to help people lose weight. And when she first started, and it's funny, I thought to myself, I go, I don't even ask people like what their goal is anymore about, what their I mean, they might have a weight loss goal, but I don't ask that. Like, my biggest concern is helping you build a lifestyle of consistently moving your body, reading personal development, working on your mindset, connecting with a positive, uplifting community, because so many people are so alone and don't even have that. So I just want people to start there. And I guarantee your life is going to change in some way, shape, or form. And maybe weight comes off because of it, depending on where you are and where you started and what you were doing before you started making these daily changes. But that's what I want for other people. That's what I share on social media. That's how I show up. My message, the people that I talk to on social media are moms. Moms that do not make themselves a priority. Moms that think that taking care of themselves is selfish. Moms that are consistently putting their kids or their spouses' needs or friends or anybody else above or ahead of their own. Those are the people that I speak to on the daily, because I was that mom. I didn't know how to do that when I was a brand new mom in a horrible marriage, had a colicky baby, and I was paralyzed. And until I figured out how to take care of me first, I couldn't be a good mom. I couldn't be a good wife or a good friend or a good coach. And so that is that is literally what I share every day on social media. I share my experiences. I share my past experiences, what I've done differently, how I've, overcome some of the things, the growth that's happened. and then where I am now. Doesn't mean everything's perfect every day, because that's just not life. But as a mom, we know that every year, every stage, everything, things change. And so, maybe when my baby, she was an infant baby and she was crying all the time and I couldn't put her down to go in order to take care of myself, or I couldn't get the right sleep and da da da. Well, now I still had to make time. I had to find time for myself in that crazy stage, right? Well, now she's 9 years old. She's a competitive dancer, a competitive gymnast, horseback rider, goes to school. I'm working full time, all this stuff. And I'm like, I still have to make time for me. It's always going to be crazy when you're a mom, when you have kids at home, whatever, it's always going to be crazy. But if you can learn how to take care of yourself and then share the craziness with other people and how you still make it work. My hair doesn't get washed every day. Sometimes my lashes are from the day before, but my priority is taking care of myself. I get up every morning and work out. I read my personal development. I connect with this community, and that is what I share. It is real life, real life. And I have learned to be my most authentic self that I ever have been in my life, because you are your own boss. You get to be exactly the type of coach you want to be. Nobody can tell you any differently. I think this is Laura again.
Hey, I'm back. But good news, this one doesn't take me nearly as long. Okay, so here's the deal. There's a lot of perks to coaching. There's a lot of perks. The one that got me to sign up as a coach was I just wanted a discount. In all honesty, I had no plans to coach whatsoever. We get 25% off all of our products and apparel. I should say that too, because that's pretty sweet. So we get the discount. Love that discount. I told you about my neighbor Melanie. When she purchased the Shakeology, I got a commission. So we also make money through commissions. That's how a lot of jobs work, right? We get access to programs before the customers do. Coaches do before customers. That's amazing. But listen, we also make money by getting what's known as a team cycle bonus. And what you need to realize about a team cycle bonus is that you get access to them as you build a team of coaches, right? Like, so we make money through commission, that's one way, but the other way is when you inspire people to want to change lives, like you get to change lives. And so that's our second way that we make money. In addition, oh my gosh, we get trips. I just got excited because, and this, no joke, I have earned a yearly trip every year I've been a coach and I've never went on it. It's normally to the Caribbean. It's normally a big deal. And so next year will be my first year. But what's crazy is that my first year going, there will also be the most coaches like Kelly's ever had on the team going, and she's gone many times. And so we're very, very excited. We're going to, I think it's Punta Cana, if I'm remembering right. Yeah. Right. Okay. Because it was whatever. There's COVID cancellations in there, but we're going to Hard Rock Hotel. I can't wait. Going with my team, going with my husband. Did you not want me to talk anymore on that slide?
No, this is the same thing. These are the in-person events.
Okay. I just didn't know the last two things on the slide.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Sorry.
That's okay. So anyways, I will talk about those in 1 second. We also get, Beachbody gives us like rewards for doing things that are like just changing people's lives. And it's actually really fun. Like, I think Kelly's got like a suitcase from last year. We got some tank tops, hats.
Theragun. I got a Theragun.
Yeah, like
Theragun.
I called it Thermogun. Anyways, there's like incentives. And then our CEO is like really fun, honestly. Like, I don't know, we all fangirl over him or fanboy or whatever, but he's super fun. Like, one time I won a book from him with $100 in it. Like, it's just a fun company. Like, it's super engaging. And finally, of course, if you run a business, you're going to get some tax write-offs. So now, since Kelly took us. So this is like we get to do things in person, right? And this is what, like, this last year has been so hard for coaches who have been coaching for a long time, because we know that the magic is really just like the magic for our challenges or in our challenge groups, and that creating that community. Well, the magic with the coaches is when we get together in person, like, and it's amazing. And we have these trips, like I said, but we also have quarterly events, and we also have our annual event, Coach Summit, which this year we are having 12 coaches from the team, 12 of us. We are going to crash St. Louis, Missouri, stay in a house together, freaking have so much fun. And we know it's going to literally be life-changing for all of us, because if you don't realize it, like, being in a home with other like-minded people who just are inspiring, passionate, happy, like excited to have that synergy is magical. And so we're very excited about that. And that's one of our favorite things about the teams.
Oops.
So listen, I think we've kind of shared with you why we think you can do this, but just kind of as a recap, you don't have to sell anything. You have to share the journey. The people who join you on the journey are the ones who are ready to join. That's all. It literally is that simple. Social media stuff, it's just a little bit of learning. It's really, at the end of the day, not that complicated. And we teach you it. We have all the support. In fact, we have a training that Kelly and I made last year that is like just 11 videos. They're all like 20 minutes. It's not even that stressful. Teach you everything you know to get started. Coaches normally watch it their first week. They knock it out and they're ready to go. And listen, this is going to help you be accountable, not necessarily only in business, but for your health, for your life. Because at the end of the day, what Team Beachbody coaches care about is we care about helping people lead a healthy, fulfilling life. That's what we want. And that starts with you. That starts with you in your health. And this decision to coach is almost like guaranteeing that you're saying, yes, I'm going to show up for me, because that's the way that you can show up for other people. So what's next? So basically, here's the deal. If you're already a challenger and you're familiar with our groups and all that, then you're literally going to keep doing what you're doing. Like, you're going to keep doing your workouts, doing your programs, doing all that. If you've never heard of Beachbody and this is like brand new to you, then what you're going to do is you're literally going to start there. You're going to work with your coach to figure out what you're doing for your health. Your health. You come first in this journey. That's what's going to give you the most impactful journey as you go. Then you're going to be contacting your coach, of course. Reach out, talk to them. What are you thinking? What are you worried about? What are you not worried about? What are you excited about? What are you, like, have that conversation and be completely transparent and honest. They can help you with navigate that and make a decision that's best for you. Just so you know, if you signed up with a challenge pack, which is what I call it, a starter pack normally, but it's the pack in the beginning with Beachbody on Demand and either Shakeology or Performance Line, you literally can sign up for $0. Like, there's a form we can do, and like, it's a magical, and you can be a coach like so easily. If you are new, then we will get you one of those magical packs and we will start you there. And then finally, when you decide to be a coach, it is really important that you keep doing the healthy stuff. And then you follow the lead of your coach. You should be setting up calls with your coach who brought you in, like weekly calls. You should be working your way through the training, and you should be moving the ball forward, but you don't have to conquer it all at once. But you want to be focusing on your health and then focusing on bite-sized chunks to move that business forward, working with your coach, not in isolation, and getting that strong start. And your coach who brings you in, I promise, will give you the support that you need when you need it to get you to where you want to go.
last thing I want to say, because I love this quote, because it's a quote necessarily, but if you believe you can't, or you're right. If you believe you can, you're right. And it's so powerful because it literally is all about mindset. When you look at being successful with any decision that you make, right? Whether it's to get a new job, whether it's to start a new workout program, or to start a new relationship, or leave a relationship, or start a coaching business. If you go into it with the mindset that this is going to be hard, it's going to be horrible, I don't know what I'm doing, you're right. That's probably all the things that you're going to see and you're going to feel when you start. If you go in to something new or this coaching opportunity going, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here to learn. I just want to, soak it up like a sponge. I want to help people. I will figure it out as I go. I know how amazing I feel and I want to share this with everybody. You're right. It's going to be so different depending on how you choose to go into every situation. And the coaching opportunity is no different. So I'm going to stop sharing and see if we have any questions, comments, anything. All right. Well, if you do have any questions, comments, you're ready to get started, just reach out to the coach that invited you to this live or that shared the link with you. And hopefully we will see you on our team.
Yay. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, Lee.